Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
How the Git plugin would be used, we have not seen. However, the plugins which you installed, it already had the Git plugin. So Git plugin is very common plugin. So that gets installed when you choose commonly used plugin option. But we have not configured it further how to connect, which will be part of further discussion or sessions. This is CloudBee. So CloudBee is nothing but a Jenkins version, cloud-based.
Okay.
There is another organization, Shining Panda. They also provide something similar.
Oh, okay.
CloudBee is more common and more popular, and is supported by Jenkins themselves, community themselves. So, the best part of cloud is whatever pain an administrator go through, you need not go through those pains on the cloud-based versions. But as an administrator, unless you understand how the things are working, how it is, which files to modify, if you do all of these installations in your local laptop, then only you realize what is happening, how the Jenkins is really working. CloudBee is just a cloud-based version of same Jenkins, same UI, with additional screens, drag and drop capabilities, operational center, etc., which are more or less the fancy capabilities, but ultimately the capabilities which you see on Jenkins, they remain same thing is available on CloudBee.
Okay.
CloudBee is nothing but a SaaS version, that's it, no change. And in local, you install, for example, 297 version today, it will be very difficult for you to upgrade this version very soon, because you'll have more activities to do, whereas CloudBee's version gets updated on every week.
Oh, okay. Right. So shall I, I don't know, shall I remove it or go with any stable version? What do you say? What would you recommend?
Either is okay, because the difference in these versions are minor, and we can always look at the documentation. So from the training and learning perspective, it's fine to have a version which is not LTS version, but has more capabilities.
Okay.
So Rajiv, it's like Rajiv, similar like this thing, right? That every week you are working on some story, right? And after 12 weeks, once whatever the stories we have done, this thing is there, you are putting in a UAT phase, and someone else is testing it and certifying these things. So, we cannot, the QA can test it, but for the UAT, generally we don't done, for every week. Right. So every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when say, oh, now some version is there, now release it. So that's the thought process between LTS and a weekly release. Nothing else.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I can.
One of the snapshot when the jobs get created, this is how you would see in coming days, even in our training as well. So the very first column, the blue color means the build is success, red color means the build is failure.
Okay.
When was the build last time executed? So this build was last executed 1 hour 16 minutes back. When was the last failure, and how much time it took? The last build, how much time it took? It's kind of dashboard so that any DevOps engineer can easily understand what is going on with the builds, and these are all different builds. On the left hand side, build queue, if something is in queue, and how many build executors are available. Executor, you understand that
So yeah, I was coming to that. So what are exactly build executor? Are they kind of some slave to this like master which we have installed?
yes,
What is it? I just wanted
correct.
to know like once. Okay.
Yes. So we have not covered the slave concept, but yes, as of now, these are the slave machines which actually execute the jobs for you. Master does not execute all the jobs for you.
Right. Yeah.
And that's one of the difference between Azure DevOps, the way Azure other tools work and the Jenkins works. Generally, in other tools, all the work is done by the agents, other agents, whereas in Jenkins, this load is taken by master as well as by slave as well, and you can club multiple slaves in a single job.
Okay.
But I'll not go into the detail because we are yet to understand what is master slave, and then
Yeah.
the
No, that's
proper
fine.
definition once. Yeah.
So like here, do we have by default like they issue some executors like for this like we installed it, so where there'll be like some limitation to it, or like how it works? I just wanted to ask.
The executors are generally created on a separate machine. However, in small organizations, it's okay to use the same machine as the executor as well. That means you need to do another deployment installation for slave on the same machine. If the organization is small, they try to save the cost, which is fine. And if the load is not high, it's fine to have the executor on the same machine. But in larger organization, bigger organization, where if a number of developer approximately, there is no very accurate figure why I'm saying roughly 20 developers are working, then organization try to use separate machine as executor.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Because that in that case the load becomes high, and rather than increasing the memory capability of the same machine, better to have a separate machine.
So basic idea value on that part, see when you talk about exhibitors or when you talk about the jobs, right? It is going to consume some resources, right? From CPU size and memory size, right? If it is going to work on a one machine, we can go ahead, or if we can go with a multiple machine, we can do it. The basic idea that small companies don't have the whatever the jobs are they may want to project, maybe that many projects will be there, so they don't need that much, and one machine and two machines suffice, right? For the bigger organizations, they don't want to take the risk, right? So they generally go for the multiple machines. Something is going to crash, then some part is going to be, damaged, or some part, some just basically is not going to work, right? Not complete one. And what are the things they are going to build, which is more enterprise level application sites, which is going to consume the more resources and more frequent check-ins there. So they need the better resources. It makes sense to take the multiple machines, right? So that's the only thought process, nothing else. Now it depends on the company to company, how many jobs are there, how much resources they need, what the costing is there. They want to make it on a one machine to from the maintenance point of view. They want to move to different things, their architecture, their flow, their guidance, their choice, nothing else.
Like where we left off, we just installed Jenkins, like it was running on my local host 8080 port, and we just put the authorization keys, and we put a system log file to have this log updated. I mean, it's anyway updating here. So, and then we're supposed to go through like each of these tabs and what they do with us.
Okay, fine. And apart from these things, we understand what is the CI/CD, what is the bigger picture.
Yes.
Where we Jenkins fit in like that, that journey, like the CI process, what these things, what quality is others we cover, right? And
Right.
then we talk about a bit about the Jenkins, and we've done installations, walk you through some of the port chain, log file, and other stuff, right? So we are good till now, right?
Yeah.
So now we basically covered the Jenkins also, and Jenkins basically we have to focus on two things, okay, at very high level. Not basically, yeah. So main two important things basically we think about this thing. One is basically job, right, which contain your code, right, and so whatever things basically we want to perform to the Jenkins, right, that's everything that logic basically contained in the Jenkins job, right. When we want to talk about the Jenkins job, right, for some of the actions or some of the functionality which we are trying to achieve it, right. So for these things we need the plugins also.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so while we are doing the installations, we talk about I show you some of the plugins also, right? We talk about the email plugin, we talk about the Kabuchara plugin, right, for the code coverage. So the plugins basically help us to understand the things, right? So we while we're doing the installation, whatever the plugins if we know it, so we can add it and install it. And these plugins basically need it while we are running our job also.
Okay.
Right? So that's basically the two important things. Now, so that's the basically recap is there, and that's part is there. Today, we are thinking. Yeah, hi Hemant.
Hi Rajiv. Hi Mangesh. Sorry.
We are doing the just recap. So we just covered the recap, and I was just talking about the use of the jobs and what's the fitment of the plugins, right? So that's the basically two things are there. And Rajiv, we are thinking that let's cover the Jenkins architecture also today, and then we are going to jump to the job. Why the architecture is there, that it may be you are not going to touch the architecture on that part, right? But you should understand, right? Because as a senior person, you should know, right? So how the Jenkins architecture is there. And on the basis, sometimes, in very exceptional scenarios, we can utilize the thought process of the Jenkins and, we can tweak the things also, right? So basically, that's a plan to focus on a thing. And then we are going to focus on the jobs and the other stuff also. Okay. So yeah, Hemant, do you want to share your screens or the slides? So Rajiv, if you do the stop sharing, so Hemant can share the slides. So
I'll make you presenter. Hang on, Hemant.
Sure. Thanks, Rajiv.
Yeah. Okay.
So you are done
with the recap.
With the recap.
Recap. We have done these things. We talked a bit about the jobs and the fitment of the basically plugin in the job. So that's the basic things we have covered, right? So I was thinking that if you can cover the architecture, please go ahead.
Before we start today, once again, Rajiv, any questions that comes to your mind and you feel you have not been answered, and you should know whatever has been covered before yesterday.
So to just answer the point, actually I've discussed. So he's good. So he don't have any queries. And one more thing which I want to let you know, this thing he mentioned that he's trying to get the trial access for the Cloud B Jenkins.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he's going to get this thing is there, then we can. So that's one more update.
That's fine. Okay. Well, that's good. So overall, this is where we left last time. Definitely, the focus of today's session is to understand the architecture. The purpose of understanding the architecture, somebody who's working at your level, who has around 8 to 9 years of experience, if something unusual comes to you, if any of your team members or any of your management members ask you very unusual questions, until you or unless you understand the architecture, you may struggle, or you may not at all be able to answer that question. Is it possible with Jenkins? If it is possible, how it is possible, why it is possible, and how many days it gonna take, right? You need to have the command of all these questions definitely technical skills are important, but at the same time, how to make sure that you answer each question raised by your management as well as the team member is very important. And understanding the architecture will help you what is possible, why it is possible, and how it is possible. This is what you try to answer each time whenever you are given a new task.
Right. Yep.
Fine. We looked at this dashboard the last time, and we talked about build queues, build executors. Even you answered that correctly, that they are the build machines or agents. We can have the executors on the same machine for smaller organization, but as a project grow, it's better to have the executors on separate machine.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So we'll definitely jump into the actual architecture and the actual screens and the code. But here are some of the screens that can help you understand what kind of information the tool would be asking when you try to configure this tool.
Okay.
You must be aware of what is source code management.
Correct.
SCM.
Yeah.
It's also called as SCM.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple source repositories are possible with with Jenkins. It works very well with the Bitbucket, which is very popular. It works very well with GitHub. It works very well with TFS as well, which we also call as VSTS. Nowadays, we also call TFS as Azure DevOps. Hope you have heard about Azure DevOps as well.
So one thing, Hemant, is Azure DevOps like a kind of repository as well? Like just want to know that.
So,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And just to add one thing at here, GitHub and like a Bitbucket, these are like the industry standard code repository, and all the clouds, right? All the big clouds. You can go and talk about like AWS, you can talk about Google, you talk about Azure, everyone offer the plugins for the case. Okay. Because the thought process at here, that the future is at here, that these clouds are going to in that direction, that they can build, they can give complete solutions. So they are targeting for the DevOps also, right?
Okay.
So they are coming here. You may hear about the Azure DevOps, AWS DevOps, Google DevOps, right? So they are also coming with their own tools. Some of the places they are using these tools like a Jenkins or something, and some places they are coming with their own tools. But most of places you can see that whatever the open source are there, like a Jenkins something, they are using inbuilt. And for the GitHub and all these things, they are not coming with their own code repository. They are using these things, and they are providing the inbuilt support for that part.
Okay. Okay.
That's the direction basically we are going.
Okay. 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 Got it. Yeah.
Another important aspect or a very important fact, since you're moving towards DevOps activities now, and Jenkins is one of the very important tool in our DevOps culture, you would be surprised to know that whatever Jenkins can do and whatever other tools can do, the Azure DevOps has all those capabilities. So capability wise, Azure DevOps is equal to Jenkins plus Jira plus some more tools.
Oh, okay. So it will have deployment capabilities as well, Hemant, like the artifact storing and deployment, everything.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So Jenkins provide you the capability for the CI and CD. Hope the CI CD terms are very clear to you. And you clearly understand the difference between where the CI ends and where the CD starts, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just one thing I want to add, Rajiv, here. Just one thing I want to add here, Rajiv. If somebody asks, right, that what's the Jenkins? Jenkins basically CI tool, not a CD tool. I mean, yeah, you can manage a CD, but that's not a right practice to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So Jenkins is CI tool.
Okay. Okay. So it's basically like CI. I mean, it can do CD, but like it's not treated as a CD tool. I mean, it is mainly CI tool, right?
It's mainly a CI tool. Never use the word, Vikas very correctly said, never use the word CD. However, because of the flexible architecture, it has been used for CI as well as CD.
Okay.
But still, Jenkins never claimed itself to be a CD tool.
Okay, makes sense. Yep. Okay.
So I hope I answered your question whether the Azure DevOps contain the repository. My answer is yes. So Azure DevOps is a combination of multiple tools. For example, Jenkins plus Jira plus Bitbucket or GitHub, etc., plus some more tools. So in fact, capability-wise, Azure DevOps is more powerful in terms of capability, but in terms of performance, and there are some limitations where organizations still feel Azure DevOps is not at a stage where Jenkins is today. That's the reason why Jenkins is still very popular. And another difference, why I'm spending a minute or 2 or 5 minutes, because when you start journey in the DevOps environment, it's fine. You're trying to learn what is Jenkins, but the comparisons would you need to face many a times, but or why you're trying to go for Jenkins. So as part of these sessions, we will definitely not be able to go into the detail what is the capability of Azure DevOps, but briefly, Azure DevOps is one of the competitor, and capabilities wise, it has more capabilities than Jenkins.
Okay.
So that's very interesting. This part I'll come quickly. This is how some of the screens look like when we try to jump into the job. Many plugins are available, more than 600 plugins. In fact, if the number of plugins count increase day by day, and you can create your own plugins as well. I've listed a few of the very important plugins that most of our organization configure these plugins as part of any Jenkins setup. Jira related and Maven, JUnit, Javadoc, SSH, MS Build, NUnit, PowerShell, email notification. These are only few examples. There are multiple more plugins that are available. Plugin is not part of the focus today, but we gave you a very brief idea. These are the plugins that are important and are quite extensively used. We'll definitely cover in detail how these plugins are configured and how they are used. And yes, that would be the hands-on as well.
Okay.
Important question. You're trying to use a tool which is called Jenkins. But why you want to use Jenkins? What problems will be solved by Jenkins for you? We understood it's a CI tool.
Right. Yeah, Hemant, like mostly the problem that was overcome by Jenkins, I feel, is like the multiple builds that were kind of done by some other team, and it was like a kind of that will be less in the sense like the developer checks in the code, and once he checks in whatever source repository, for example Git, he would immediately know like the outcome of his build, and he don't have to wait for that process to be take time or like to dependency on some other team, and he would immediately come to know like how his code worked or not. So yeah, that is one of the main things that I feel, Hemant. Yeah.
So just want to add, I just want to correct you, Rajiv, on that part, right? See, time is still the same. Time is still the same, right? Because Jenkins is, I'm triggering the steps, right? When you talk like a pipeline, what's a pipeline? It's the sequence of a step, right?
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So even somebody is doing them manually, or somebody, you can say Jenkins is doing these things, the time will be seen, right? Here the only point is here that it's the automation, right?
Okay.
So that's the only difference. Time is some places maybe yes, that as soon as you are going to check in, that's immediately job is going to take. You don't have to tell to somebody manually, but immediately if somebody is going to perform that steps manually also, time will be almost same.
Okay.
So we cannot say that time is going to save. Yeah, time and productivity is going to save, because via this process, right, by the automations, right, you are having the gates, right, that all the test cases are up and running or not, right? So because of all these things, the more discipline in the team, we can force the team to follow the TDD approach, test-driven development, right? And the major, because of all that part, that overall number of bugs we are going to expect in a UAT phase in a productions, which is going to reduce drastically.
Okay.
So from that perspective, we are saving the productivity, but actually for the CI/CD, it's not something we can say that we are going to save a lot of time. So that's not a major benefit for us.
Okay. So the major thing is like the continuous thing. Like it'll check in and it'll happen immediately. Like the build will trigger in.
Yes, because as soon as you check in the things, complete pipeline is triggered, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But pipeline is going to take own time, right? It may take 1 minute, it may take 2 minutes, depend how many quality gates are there, what's the plugin we use to perform the job.
Yeah. That's correct, Vikas. Yep.
Yes, and again coming back to what we were, and in fact the continuation of what Vikas said, a different aspect of looking at the things. Suppose your director comes to you and asks, we need to build an application. Can we use Jenkins?
Okay.
So you should have an answer. Can an application be built using Jenkins? What is the answer? Answer is yes. Now, mostly the organizations or the leadership may ask you another question. Can we use it for building the infrastructure code?
Oh, okay.
Hope you understand the difference between application code and infrastructure code.
Yeah. I don't think so, Hemant. Like, I mean, that is possible. I'm not sure. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not very clear on the infrastructure code, Hemant. Yeah.
What is infrastructure?
It's kind of like the outline, like kind of if I say a pipeline, even that is a kind of infrastructure, like how it is going, like Jenkins to Artifactory, and this it's kind of infrastructure as well.
So yeah, Hemant, do you want to?
Sure. So these days, if you're creating a web server, there is a possibility, or earlier what we used to do, we used to have an operations team, and they used to create the web server app.
Okay.
They used to create the application server machine. They used to create the database server machine manually. What we mean by creating those infrastructure machines, or the web server machine, application machine, or the database machine, means they would install the operating system manually. They would install the required databases, database softwares, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB. All of these are infrastructure related softwares that must be available before you can run your application.
Okay. I got you now. Okay, Hemant. Yeah.
Lot has changed in last few years. Now it is possible to configure these servers or infrastructure with the help of some scripts.
Okay.
There are many tools available in the market that can help you write those scripts. You must have heard about Ansible, Chef,
Yes.
Puppet,
Yes. Yeah.
PowerShell,
Yeah.
Terraform. These are all infrastructure code. That means using PowerShell DSC, you can create, if you are given a machine, a hardware machine with the CPU, RAM, and that's no operating system is there, the PowerShell or Ansible can or Chef can install the operating system on that for you.
Okay.
Remotely using software as a code or scripts as a code.
Okay. Okay.
It's possible similar for application. You can create your application servers as well. You can create your database servers. You can install different services or different DNS service. If you need to configure DNS service, if you need to configure Active Directory, all this is possible through scripts as code. Can we use Jenkins for infrastructure code deployment? So by running Jenkins, can we install operating system on a physical machine, on a box?
Okay. No.
That's what the infrastructure code is.
Okay. 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 I got it now, Hemant. Okay.
So to just add you the Hemant point, see Raju, what happened is things, right? When you're going to build an application, right, which is going to deploy on a 5 server, 10 server, that's the build event, right? These days you're talking about an enterprise level application. I now think about like something like ICICI Bank or something, right? Which is not going to deploy on like a 10 server, 20 server, this thing, right? It may be at least 100 different servers. Right? 100 different production environments there. Now the problem is here to creating one production environment, right? You have to do the setups, you have to install the Tom, you have to set up Tomcats, you have to set up the Maven, you have to set up the GitHub, you have to set up the jobs, you have to do the configuration, all that part.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.